to all of the residents. This was revised to make sure that it was all meetings, whether it was delegates or officers or executive board or committees, are open, except for meetings with legal counsel present to discuss pending or proposed litigation, or meetings to discuss personnel issues which are permitted to be closed. Okay? May I have a motion, please? Thank you, Marilyn Gorodetzer. And back there, Barbara Cornish. Seconds. Is there any discussion? These are pretty straightforward, aren't they? Yeah. We deserve some straightforward ones, don't you think, after all the work we've done? Okay. Are we ready for a vote? Thank you. Marilyn? Hit it.
Exercise and time wasting.
Can you see it or?
Yes. Yes. Oh, can I? Oh. Can everybody see? Yeah. Okay, 133.
Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, excuse me.
120.
Has everyone voted who intends to vote?
130.
Have another vote.
You all voted. All right, Marilyn, call it up. All right.
130.
Next case.
Okay, and then the next one is 13. And that, I'm sorry, I'm talking behind myself. Okay, Article 13, Rulemaking Authority. And this just makes sure, and there was a revision on this, so it would be on your revision page, but it's, where is it? Was there a revision? No, there wasn't. This one is okay. So all it says is that delegates, executive board, and committees may make reasonable rules and regulations for orderly conduct of their meetings that are not in conflict with these bylaws. It just allows you to make sure that you can keep order. It says such rules include but are not limited to a limitation on the frequency with which an individual may speak, requesting that a representative on each side of the issue speak rather than everyone present, and rules regarding the participation of members and non-members. Okay, pretty standard stuff. May I have a motion? Coming down to the left-hand corner. Oops. Oh, maybe, yes. Christine Armour, would you like to make that one? Yes, she'll make that motion. And we got another second over here. Yes. Paul. Okay. Yes, we got it. We're live, okay.
Got it, John.
Still at 135.
What's the pulling teeth?
What's that? No, 13.
Close. There's 3 of you out there who haven't pushed their button.
Throw sheep all left to push another.
2 more.
One.
Still coming.
It's full.
Bingo. All right.
136, and that is 132, 4, and 0. Excellent.
All right, last but not least,
Okay, and that is conflicts. This is about conflicts of interest. It just says, and actually, B, C, and D in your booklet say it all. It just says that if there's any conflict of interest that between UCO people, Century Village people, and entities that do business or have decision power related to the delegates or UCO in general, if they have that connection, they need to declare a conflict of interest, and they are not allowed to vote on an issue related to the conflict of interest. That's all that is. So it relates to UCO officers, delegates, UCO committee members, and business entities that are owned wholly in part by UCO officers, committee members, or delegates. And it also applies to UCO employees or to Century Village members who serve as officers, UCO committee members, and UCO delegates. And the item D says it all. The parties described above must disclose the nature of their conflict and are not permitted to vote on contracts or transactions where there is a conflict of interest. Pretty basic. Also, this came pretty much from statute with minor regulations for UCO. May I have a motion? Ed Grossman. May I have a second? Jackie Carlin. Any discussion? That one's pretty straightforward, too. Are we ready to vote? Yes. Okay. We're ready to go, Marilyn. You're live.
People are getting impatient. They want out.
Figured it out.
All right.
You got the 136 the last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that happened.
Couple of people left, I think.
136 is very
Came back. Come back.
John, did somebody come back? Okay.
2 to go.
Maybe a restroom break.
Well, that's pretty good. Has everyone voted who intends to vote? Looks like we missed somebody, but that's okay.
I think we can call it, Marilyn.
All right, Marilyn.
Yeah.
Bingo. All right.
Okay. The motion passes.
Motion passes.
Great.
Thank you, Anita.
Thank you. May I just explain something first?
Yes, of course.
Thank you. And then I'll come to you, Ed. After this, we come next month and we will vote on the proposed amendment from last month. It goes to the lawyer, and once it's approved, we have, and published in the paper, we have a set of workable documents, the 2020 amended bylaws. And I want to thank all of you. I feel that delegates have been partners in this process. The level of participation has been very, very high. The town halls were terrific, and those of you who contributed by emailing and calling and making suggestions was perfect. It was excellent, and I appreciate it. I want to thank the officers who stood by us the whole time, stuck with us all the way through, and I want to say something about the executive board. Please join it. Those of you who have not been involved, please run for it. At the executive board, as the proposals went through the process, we got suggestions and edits that were very, very helpful. The executive board is a sounding board. It's one more place where people can hear what needs to be voted on. It starts at advisory, it goes to the officers. It's one more place that it can be analyzed, thought through, adjusted before we have a final vote. It's an important thing. Please get involved with it. But I want to thank them too. I also want to thank the two former chairs, Marilyn Gorodetzer, also a member of advisory now, who did a lot of research for us on prior votes and when things happened. And I also want to thank Randall, who was the architect of the 2013 and the 2015 amendments, who works very closely with me on parts of this and who gave the great benefit of his experience and his knowledge. Nobody in the village knows more about bylaws or Robert's rules than Randall, and he was just a tremendous help to this committee. So thank you. Thank you, all of you. Yes, may I go first to Ed because he asked first and then you? Yes.
I just wanted to clarify. You mentioned there's still more bylaws that will be coming through.
Oh, let me. We're going to go through and finish these. There are others in the loop. If they are done that quickly as these are processed, they'll be included. If not, they'll come after. One unit, one vote is still in John Gregg's committee. It's nearing completion. When that is complete, we are going to, as we promised, put it through the process and bring it back to you. That will probably happen after this set is voted on. But as things come in, they become part of normal business. Does that answer your question?
Well, I know some were already in it.
Yes, some are processed and they'll go through the normal process. If they're there in time, they'll be in this set. If they're not, they'll happen after. Okay? We've got to have some logical order to this, and we can't keep extending these forever. At least we'll have a workable set of bylaws, and we will add to them, whether it's one unit, one vote, or anything else, because bylaws go on. This won't be the last time you see this committee. And I'm not sure I said it, but the committee as a whole was incredible, and next month I'll thank them individually.
I think,
Thank you, Anita.
I think just in relation to Ed's question, of the making of bylaws, there is no end. I mean, when this block is done,
Anita.
amendments, petitions will continue to come in. It's perfectly normal. I think that maybe is where Ed was going, that there are some petitions in the pipeline, right? Yeah, okay.
David, I would just like to say a few words, if I may. As Anita mentioned, I had been previously chairman of advisory, having been handed it by a dear friend, Randall and David, and I'll tell you, nobody could have done the job that Anita did. It is an enormous undertaking. I've been there and I know it, and she was unbelievable. God bless you and be well.
My pleasure and my privilege. Thank you.
Absolutely, yeoman work, no doubt about it. All right, moving right along. Obviously, the committee reports are in your package, but I would like to give some of our distinguished guests a few minutes. Why don't we hear from Niels? Do you have something from Commissioner?
Sure, David, I'll keep it. Good morning, Yuko. Niels Heinrichs here for County Commissioner Greg Weiss. He had to go to be interviewed, so I think he'll be on CBS 12 tonight to talk about his work for the Police Foundation. He just wanted to wish you all a happy new year. And just to emphasize once more that we're here to help you. So if there is anything, you can call our office, 355-2202, with any and all problems that you may have. I just reviewed our last year, our first full year in office. We get about one constituent a day who calls us. You know, plenty of people from Century Village. So please, if you do have an issue that we can help you with, don't hesitate to call us, 355-2202. Thanks.
All right. And the IG is here. We haven't seen John in a long time. You have a few words for us?
Well, Happy New Year to everybody. John Kerry, your Inspector General for the county. We've been in existence now for 10 years. And in the 10 years, I left some flyers back in the back on the table. We've heard over 11,000 phone calls and hotlines of suspicious fraud, waste, abuse problems in the county. We've made hundreds of referrals to law enforcement. Our annual report is out now on our website, and they're in hard copy. They're still being printed. We'll get them out. This is an example of some of the things that we do that I know you may be interested in. A number of you probably have been on PalmTran Connection, right? You're familiar with the little buses out there. Well, this year what happened, PalmTran saw some irregularities with PalmTran Connection with sending in their, we have a company, did have a company, $37 million contract over a number of year period to provide maintenance on those vehicles. Well, what we found in our investigation over a number of year period, they were falsifying the documents on repairing those vehicles. They were putting used parts on them from the junkyard instead of new parts that was required in the contract. And what was even more disturbing, some of the safety devices on there that usually has a buzzer that goes off when something goes wrong. Instead of fixing the safety device, they were disconnecting the buzzers, doing all types of problems. Well, they got rid of that contract company. We turned them over to the Federal Aviation Commission. And so those are some of the types of things that the office does for the citizens of Palm Beach County. We audit and we investigate any type of public problems in government. And so thank you all for your support. And again, I wish you a Happy New Year.
Thank you, John. We have a candidate for sheriff here, Major. Tell us, I forgot who you are.
Major Alex Freeman, retired from the city of Riviera Beach. You know, this is my second time running for sheriff of this county. And when I ran for sheriff in 2016, actually this year makes 7 years I've been running for this office, this single office. You know, and I'm very, very blessed to be retired so that I can do that. You know, but I made a promise to this community in 2016, and that promise holds true to this day. Once I'm the sheriff of this county, there will be a sheriff substation right here in Century Village. A sheriff substation that you can call whenever there's a problem, you know, and not call to District 3 and wait for a deputy to respond. There'll be deputies here 365 days a year. That is my promise to you. Also, Mr. Kerry, I'm glad you're here. I don't know if you saw my posting on social media a few months ago, but what I said in my posting is that once I become the sheriff of this county, I look forward to working with you and your office to ensure that what we're doing in terms of procurement, that our actions are consistent with our policy and procedures and state law. I don't mind having oversight. I believe that everyone should have oversight when it comes to spending taxpayer dollars. I happen to live in a community that is patrolled by law enforcement. They are assigned there 365 days a year. And I was very, very fortunate to be the commander of that community that implemented that program. So I know that we can do it, and it'll be no cost to you as a taxpayer, because the residents of my community, I live in a gated community, the residents of my community, we pay no cost to have a law enforcement there to protect us. So that is going to happen And in 2021, I promise you 100 days in office, there will be a sheriff substation here. And I just ask that you all give me the opportunity that many of us did in 2004 when we elected Sheriff Bradshaw to office. Thank you.
I wish you the best of luck, but Rick Bradshaw is a tough nut to crack. All right. We have someone here, yes, representing former Governor Scott? Tell us who you are.
My name is Ryan Natick. I'm the Southeast Regional Director for Senator Scott. I know that Senator Rubio's office has been here before, and it's great to be back here to Century Village.
That's it.
So basically, I'm the Southeast Regional Director. I have Broward County up to Indian River and Okeechobee. What we do is a lot of constituency services, folks that have problems with visas, immigration issues, vets with problems at the VA. We can't always solve every single problem, but we can figure out how to get to that point. So you can call our office. It is 561-514-0189. And, anything that we can do, especially with some of the federal agencies, don't hesitate to ask. So thanks for having me.
All right. Have I missed any distinguished guests? I think we've got them all. Committee reports are contained in our package, and that brings us to good of the order or good and welfare. Please come up and have your voice heard. Uh-oh. You're next. Randall.
Yeah, David, this should be of concern to everyone. For the last 7-8 months, neither I nor anybody else I've spoken to has received an agenda in the mass mailing. Can you tell me something about that, David? I've spoken with a number of your offices, and now I'm speaking with you.
Okay. We'll work a little harder on that. I think I got this quite late, maybe yesterday.
7 or 8 months, David.
Yeah, I understand. No, good point. Rhoda, did you hear him? Yeah, okay. We will work together to make it happen. Sir.
First of all, I want to say good morning to everyone and Happy New Year. My name is Ruben Ramos. I'm the captain of the Citizens on Patrol here in Century Village. We drive around in a sheriff's car, make sure that this place is safe, and make sure that no crime is being committed in this area. I want you to know that we are looking for volunteers to help. We live in a community that has over 700 condominiums, and we have over 14,000 people that live here. There's no reason why we can't have at least 1% of the people giving back to their community. As our president said, and also our vice president, you need to give back to your community. You need to get involved. And I believe that one way of doing that is by being a volunteer, being a citizen on patrol. We will give you a uniform like the one that I'm wearing today. Also, you will drive around in a sheriff's car. You will patrol the area, make sure you keep all of the bad people out of Century Village. I think it's a great thing to do for our community and to help Century Village. So I invite you to become a part of our team. Thank you.
All right, Captain, this is very apropos. I was just asking yesterday why we haven't heard recently from COP at our security meeting, which, by the way, is this afternoon. And I think you'll get a little more visibility if you will have an agent there to give a COP. We used to get a regular COP report from Major Leibowitz, number of hours driven, etc. Please consider reinstituting that. So the security meeting is this afternoon over at UCO. Okay? Yeah, consider volunteering for this. It's presence, it's the sheriff's car, it's the light. It all works together. It's just one more layer to enhance our security. Thank you. Olga.
David, we have a UCO election coming up in March, and
Yes.
one of the big problems is electioneering. New people that are running are restricted from electioneering at the pools, in front of the clubhouse, distributing leaflets, and this is not the way to do it. We need you, David, to read Eva the Riot Act and allow us, new people that are running, to electioneer and hand out pamphlets in front of the clubhouse or at the pools, or to give us more freedom to get the vote out and to vote properly. We've been restricted for too long. We need this change. And David, you're the only one who's going to be able to read Eva the Riot Act. Because if I read it to her, she doesn't listen. So we're going to depend on you to give us more freedom for electioneering, okay?
All right, could you consider, please, making this plea, because it's an excellent plea, at the Operations Committee meeting?
I could do that.
Okay? Obviously, we have communications channels, and I don't really see the problem. You're going to get some input. I don't know about people at the pool who might not be excited about being approached. But look, bring it up at Operations.
Well, you see, she can't use that as an excuse because right now she bothers us at the pool for our IDs. So
Your
that's a poor
IDs,
excuse.
okay, fair enough.
Got it.
Thank you. All right. George.
Just a reminder, it's in your packet, you guys asked for it, February 7th, and that's the next delegates meeting, right here, Operation Pill Drop.
Yes.
Last time we did it over the summer, we got 143 pounds, it's unbelievable.